You ever think, what if Monkey Planet? Well, do I have a franchise for you? Planet of the Apes from 1969 is a movie that revolutionized the sci-fi genre. It captured an entire generation of audiences that would be captivated by science fiction for the late 60s and early 70s. The film spawned not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine. It's nine sequels, with the most recent releasing in the year of our Lord 2024. I decided to take up the challenge of watching every single movie in this franchise, and now I'm here to present my findings on this new planet, the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, they made me the president. They said my aura was unmatched, or some shit. Original recipe OG Planet of the Apes is a technical marvel and truly pushed special effects and science fiction as a whole into a new era. It intertwines great makeup, which I want to tell you, I don't think they're real monkeys, okay? It's great makeup, but I know that they're people under there, I know it. Okay, so don't tell me that I'm an idiot. I know they're real people, and I'm not scared of them. With a bare bones but intelligent story about environmentalism and the human condition. I'm going to be saying the phrase the human condition a lot in this video, and I figured I should table set a little bit as to what it means when I say it in this context. I don't want anything to get confusing or, as it's going to, annoying. It's going to be annoying. The human condition is defined as the characteristics and key events of human life, including birth, death, learning, emotion, aspiration, reason, morality, conflict, and death. The definition is pretty straightforward. It's the condition that we're all born into. It's being a human and what it means to be human. This, again, will come up, so I wanted to mention it and explain it before we got into the video where I talk about it a lot in terms of a movie about apes. So, yada yada yada, the human condition. Show me the monkeys. Show me the monkeys. Show me them in their little towns with their guns and all their weapons and their... Alright, so yeah, this movie starts off with a group of astronauts, led by Charlton Heston, who plays Captain Taylor. They're flying through space, and as they approach where they're going to hit their hypersleep points, which is they get in the cryopods and they take a big old nap, the ship malfunctions and starts to crash. As they crash, Taylor sees the calendar of the Earth year, so that they could track, in space, like how long they've been gone, and it says that they are thousands of years in the future. They made a mistake and in turn have lost everything and everyone they've ever loved. There is now no home to return to. After the ship crashes, this movie kind of grinds to a halt. And I don't say that negatively because I really like this part of the movie, but it definitely slows down a bit. Taylor is seemingly okay with what has happened to the crash and the thousands of years being flung in the future, and it has no home to return to, from what I can gather. The astronauts all get out in their stupid, weird little metal backpacks that can't be comfortable or fashionable. And the next 20 minutes, give or take, is them walking through scenic beauties that could only be on an alien planet. But it was filmed in Arizona, so I'm from New Jersey. I didn't know things looked like that. And I say it grinds to a halt in a good way because it really lets the dread sink in of you don't even really have an avenue to get to the way to get back home. They are stranded on a planet with nothing and no way to leave. Eventually, they find a group of humans and they see them in the distance, and as they go towards them, they end up going in a lake and taking all their clothes off to swim in the lake and get a bath, and then the humans they found sneak in, take all their clothes and run, and so they chase the humans. So the humans are being chased by other humans. Taylor is chasing a group of humans. I'm sorry, this is really a fucking nightmare. But as they get to the field with all the humans, it's all of them. They're chasing them, so it's all of them. It's a big group of humans. You see, in maybe the greatest reveal in movies, an ape on a horse with a automatic rifle crest the hill and start hunting these humans. In watching all these movies, I figured I shouldn't be alone, and I should enlist the help of some of my friends to keep me along on this journey, because it's quite a long one. So I started inviting friends to watch these movies with me. I tell you all of this because my good friend Paden actually ended up sticking out and watching every single movie with me. It took us about a month to get it all scheduled and done, but we watched them all together. It was very nice. But there was something about these movies that really entranced us every time we watched, and that's the monkey net. The apes end up using a net to capture humans in almost every single one of these movies, and the success rate is sitting around 100%. It's one of the greatest cinematic foils I've ever seen, and I feel like it's slept on, so I wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to have Paden talk about it, so here's that.
Webster's dictionary defines consistency as key, and nothing is more consistent than monkey net. Planet of the Apes is a franchise spanning 10 movies, and in every single Apes movie, they find a way to use the monkey net, often more than once. I mean, hell, in the first movie, they just keep using it on Taylor each time he escapes. Guy's an astronaut, he can't even beat a piece of twine. The actual funny thing about the monkey net is by the second or third time they use it, you instantly understand how overpowered it is. If something seems like it's going a little too well for the main characters, then bam, you know they're about to get the old rope wrangle. Even when I saw the newest Apes movie in theaters, I cheered and I clapped with my little simian hands when I saw that monkey net. The monkey net quickly became one of my favorite characters of the Apes franchise, and that's right, I said character. I will not be taking any more questions at this time. Thank you, back to Billy.
The astronauts are taken to what we will call Ape City. Taylor is seemingly the only one to make it out alive, and he ends up being injured, shot through his throat, so he cannot speak. Dr. Zira, a female ape veterinarian, which is just a human doctor, which is kind of funny, takes care of all the humans that are brought in from the hunt. I don't really know what she does with them. They kind of experiment on them, but she's also doesn't want to experiment on them, so I don't really know. I think she just admires them and wants them to be a higher species. Humans in the Apes universe don't speak, by the way, so Taylor being shot through the throat eliminates any delineating factor of him between the other humans that have been hunted. Taylor tries to communicate but realizes he can't speak, and then he tries to write, and so they start making fun of him, saying he's emulating apes and how he acts. Taylor is pretty much in prison now. Taylor is discredited, but eventually he escapes, and he's running through Ape City being chased and put in another monkey net, by the way, never fails. And as they're netting him up to take him back to prison in the town square, he yells,
"Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!"
which is one of the most iconic lines in all of movies, and this is really a nexus point for the entire franchise. This sets us off into whatever else happens in these movies. This is the moment. Taylor has sent their society into a spiral, and they can't really bring it back because everyone in the town has seen it now. Ape City is in shambles. And now we get to spend time with one of my favorite characters, Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius!
Dr. Zaius is the head of the science division in Ape City, as well as the keeper of the faith, which I feel is a conflict of interest. Separate the church and the state, Dr. Zaius. No, you guys have guns. You missed a step. Zaius believes Taylor is from what they call the Forbidden Zone, which is where the apes do not travel. They don't explain why, really, that they don't travel there, but they just don't go there. They live in their city, and they stay there, and it's kind of cultish. The next 15 minutes of the movie are just Taylor in ape court, which fucking rocks. Like, he's just, like, pleading his case as to why he should be alive, and then they have, like, a religious aspect and a science aspect, and they're just, it becomes like a courtroom drama for 15 minutes with apes and a dude. It's awesome. It really allows the like Shakespearean theater actors of the 60s that are put in ape makeup to just chew on some lines about weird societal issues. Zaius and the council of other apes decide that Taylor should be banished to the Forbidden Zone, to where he comes from. As Taylor's about to set off, I forgot, there's a really weird aspect of this movie where Linda Hamilton plays a hardly clothed human that can't speak, that is like a lower evolutionary ladder rung, and she's like given to Taylor, which is really weird. So she like clings to his hip and just can't talk, and it feels really weird. Zira and Cornelius. Cornelius is Zira's husband, who is also a scientist, who's in a lot of the movie, but I think Zira really like elevates those two to one character through her. But they go into the Forbidden Zone with Taylor and Nova, but they're chased by Zaius and the group of apes that believe he should be killed. Taylor ends up retreating to a cave with Zira and Cornelius, and Zaius follows them in there. Taylor finds a doll, a human doll, that speaks, and Taylor and Cornelius realize, as well as probably Dr. Zaius, that there were humans that spoke before apes rose up. Zaius tells Taylor to leave the cave and to never return. Zaius is trying to preserve the sanctity of ape culture and ape society. Taylor and Nova go off on horseback until they find arguably one of the like most important reveals in movie history. They look up and they see the Statue of Liberty pretty much buried in sand. Taylor curses them for blowing up the world. You realize that they have been on Earth the entire time, and that he's just thousands of years in the future, where apes are now intelligent. Original Recipe Planet of the Apes is an incredible movie that holds up still to this day really well. I think if I was to watch the first one of these movies and really hate it, I would not have made it through some of the lesser of this ilk. It tackles a lot of issues about humanity, revolutionized sci-fi, and became like a long episode of The Twilight Zone that people were just enamored by. I love it. So excited for the next movie.